this episode of DPV, we're ripping the heart out of my Impala. But it's for a good cause. Hey, welcome to Days of Pain and Victory. I'm Josh, and today we gotta get this out. Alex is on his way to help me, so that's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna try to get some pre-work done, get these tires yanked off. We don't have a lot of room here to move the cherry picker around. I'm gonna try to get the drive line out. Time to get this old small block out of here. All right, pretty short work of that.
Yeah.
So this motor hasn't been out since I was in high school.
One of the good things is there's about a ping pong table size hole to pull the motor from.
Oh yeah,
There's no shoehorning.
So we have acquired other power plants, and so that's why this thing's getting pulled. And it is now going in the Big Chief. No more 305. Plans change quickly with me, as you may, if you've been following the channel, you know that I ping pong a little bit. But the thing is I know everything about this motor. This engine, my dad and I built when I was in high school. Picked it up from one of his buddies that's still a good friend of ours. And we went through it. It's got flat top hyper eutectic pistons. It's got an Edelbrock Performer package in it. The like off idle to 5500. So mild cam, it's got the Performer intake. It's still got the 76cc heads that kind of burn oil. And no, I'm not dealing with that right now. But my dad and I did port them. So it actually runs really good. And it doesn't have a lot of miles. So we're just gonna throw some gaskets at it. This is gonna be perfect for the Big Chief. And I can eventually throw a new set of heads on it. Maybe I'll find a set of camel humps, maybe I'd love to find, or just buy some new aluminum heads so I can bump the compression a little bit more. I think that'd be sweet. But this is gonna be perfect for the Big Chief. And I'm gonna try to find a quadrajet because I did some research on the whole fuel injection thing. And like the quadrajet is actually one of the best off-road carbs out there. So some of you guys are like, man, you should have just put a quadrajet on that AMC, but selling that stuff allowed me to build the doubler and buy some other parts. And now if you subscribe to the newsletter, you'll get sneak peeks on what is going in this, but it's gonna be rad. All right, time to tear this sucker down. All right, got her all tore down on the stand. It looks super clean inside, so that was kind of what I was expecting. Now just gotta get the gaskets on. I think this can be a great little motor for the Jeep. What do you think, dude?
Yeah, be good.
This motor's bringing back some memories. My dad and I built this thing when I was in high school, and I was telling Alex, I remember my dad, like, we were prepping this block and heads and stuff. He was teaching me about like more of the hot rod thing and like street rod, show rig type stuff. And obviously the Impala is like a long ways from being show quality, but like I ground down some of the flashing on the heads and on the block to make it look smoother and nicer, and all stuff that makes no difference on performance, but it does make for a nice looking engine. But it's kind of funny, just like all the extra time that went into this. So this engine means something to me. So I didn't want, even though I'm replacing it out of the Impala with something pretty cool, I didn't want this thing to just sit around. So going into the Big Chief is going to be perfect, but it's not going to be red anymore. I'm going to go Chevy orange. Just gasket matching my paint job here. All right, you've probably seen this trick before, but the fuel pump rod. There's a plug hole here that you can pull that bolt out and stick a longer one in and hold that fuel pump rod up while you're putting the fuel pump on. So that's kind of helpful. All right, I went ahead and put the water pump on, painted the back side of it because that was easier than just masking, the gasket surface and stuff. So that's done. Just gonna paint the fuel pump. It'll be fine. Got these valve adjustment valve covers. So I'm gonna use those to mask that surface. We're ready for paint. Don't think I have enough, but we'll shoot as much as I've got and then I'll head to the store a little later. Then, gotta clean up. This place is absolutely wrecked. So, because then we gotta tear that transmission down, but gotta get organized again. All right, got the shop somewhat back together. It's still pretty messy, but at least got stuff kind of pushed over. Need to get more paint. We're gonna tear this down. I've already done one of these on the channel, so I'll link that video right here. You can go check that out. So just basically tearing it down, putting some new clutch disc seals, that kind of stuff. Nothing fancy. I just don't want to put it in as is, untested. So might as well put a kit in it and know that it's going to be good. Well, I knocked that out in about 30 minutes, so pretty impressed with myself on that. If you've never tore apart one of these automatics, they're pretty dang simple. So still got technically some more to tear apart. I got tear these drums apart. There's more clutch discs and seals in there. But the bad news is this guy is pretty worn, so kind of stuck. I got to get this this one replaced. Also, somehow I ordered a trans kit for Powerglide. Not sure how I did that, but I'm kind of dead in my tracks there, so it's all good. That will give me a chance to order the lip seal tool that I wanted to buy and I forgot about. So I can get that coming, and I can just take this to the car wash and get it all cleaned up. So I think what I'm going to do now is grab some more paint so we can get this painted, get the intake on, valve covers, all that stuff, so it's good to go. Then tomorrow I'll probably just weld. I got lots of welding to do. So that'll be a good catch-up day on the fab work. Probably one of the worst engine paint jobs, but Picked up these valve covers on the old marketplace. You know, a while back, Alex and I did a podcast about car stuff on vacation and how like you can peruse the old marketplace when you're. All right, what I was trying to say is perusing the old Facebook marketplace while on a little vacation trip. Found these valve covers, $20. So that's pretty sweet. A way you can do car stuff on vacation. Just buy stuff on the old marketplace. This is gonna be perfect engine for the Jeep. I'm excited to see how this thing feels in the Jeep. I know how it feels in the Impala. The Impala is not small, not light, and this gets up and goes, but it's gonna be a lot of tire mass and whatever, but I think it's gonna be a lot stronger than the motor I pulled out. Well, sweet, that looks pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with it. It's not the best paint job. There's runs and stuff, but it's gonna look good when you just pop the hood and take a peep at it. But anyway, I gotta order parts for the transmission now, so it's gonna be a few days. I think tomorrow I'm just gonna weld. So I'll catch back up with you when the transmission parts come. All right, back on the transmission, cruising right along. I wanted to show you this new tool that I saw in Fab Rats. It is awesome. All the words have come off of it now. It's called the Lip Wizard, and you can only get it at Global Transmission Parts. So I'll show you how it works here. I got one more set of lip seals to install. They're on the piston already, but I'll show you how this tool works. It's pretty awesome. All right, so I got it all lubed up with some trans fluid, and basically you don't want those lips to flip backwards, so they're supposed to be down. That's how they seal appropriately. So this thing, you just push it in and you can kind of roll it around. So see, now that inside one's already good to go. Now I'll just slip it in right between the drum and the piston, and just kind of roll it around. I'm putting just a little bit of pressure on the piston. There it is. Thing's awesome, man. Just like, yep, feels good. If you watch my other transmission video, I struggled just using a feeler gauge, and that is not the way to do it. This thing is awesome. So it's $4. All right, I'm gonna get back to slamming all these clutch shifts in. The transmission housing's just about all cleaned up. I keep soaking it with super clean and engine degreaser and pressure washing, and yeah, should have this together and today, hopefully. Gonna get down and dirty engine bay paint job here. Lipstick on a pig, Eventually, I want to build some new inner fenders whenever I do the front fenders, like the radius, fender flares, and all that. I'll just take these inner fenders out and should vacuum up there. Just build something that looks a little cooler, a little cleaner, and a little more room for big tires. But for now, we don't have time for that. I have time for the fancy stuff, so just gonna do a quick gloss black Rust-Oleum. Got to mask off the wiring, or I'd like to anyway. All right, I guess I'll climb in there. Oh, this is might have been easier to go underneath. Got this big bad man pajama. Yeah, this paint can's awesome. Man, that turbo can is awesome. It sprays out so much paint. And yeah, I think it looks decent. Looks decent. Not too bad. So, getting ready to pick this thing up off the stand. Got to get the trans mated to it. And then we're working on motor mounts. All right, things are moving in the right direction. Kind of stabbed in there. I think the best thing to do is going to be cut those factory mounts off. I thought maybe I could use them. There's not enough space for what I want to do. So they're going to go away. All right, got a little shop cleanup. Yeah, it's marginally better. Got all the engine parts and stuff that need to go back in the Jeep over here. So the fab table is ready to go. And my dad was over for a little bit. We moved some stuff around. That was a huge help. And he kind of helped me scope out these motor mounts. Look at all this scribble. Scribble, scribble. Got lots of ideas here. But basically, I got these plates. I will link where I got them down below. I can't really remember, but it's kind of nice to get some stuff that's laser cut, perfect, you know, don't have to do any cleanup. So these mount to the block. I'm going to come off of there with a short piece of 2-inch square tubing. Got to cut some of this DOM for the bushings. That's going to be there. Make them nice and short where I can still get these bolts out though. And then see if I can show a picture of it. Yeah, we come in like, basically here's the frame, coming off the frame with a 2-inch, maybe gusset it, and then it's gonna have a little like C channel that cups the end of this bushing like that basically. And we'll use this material to build the little C. So fun little fab project, and that'll get the front of the motor all secure, and we'll be able to tackle that big old transmission cross member. It's gonna be pretty complicated. This is the best center punch, spring tools. Love it. See if the old Grizzly's got what it takes here. Yeah, that drill bit doesn't hang down far enough. That will help. There we go. we're gonna try this again. This nut had actually fallen off the pulley. So the pulley, I think, was slipping on the shaft. So maybe we do have the guts to do this. All right, got the parts all cleaned up. It's kind of the basic idea here. And then this will be like that, pointing towards the frame somehow. Probably shorten these up a bit. So I'm gonna get this all tacked together and get these cut and tacked together. Then we can bolt them in and figure out the frame side. All right, cut a little angle on them so they're a little bit fancy. Got a clamp down there, plenty of room for the bushing in there, so that's sweet. And I pre-drilled them so I don't have to deal with that later. These turned out pretty good. Got to wire wheel some dingleberries off, but well on our way. I like it. Alright, so I cut these 4" by 6" plates. They're going to go on the side of the frame. I'm going to try to line up the bolt holes from the factory motor mounts. There's a reference point like 2 3/4 back. So I made that mark. I should be able to line that hole on that mark, clamp her down, and get my bolt pattern here. Then these can be bolted to the frame, and we can figure out what our stanchions are going to look like. Yeah, got those plates in there. Bolts going in pretty easy. So that's all I got time for today, fortunately. But I'll get out here tomorrow and we'll work on getting the motor perfectly positioned, get those motor mounts bolted on. I did throw some primer on them. Later on this evening I'll throw some black on them so they'll be ready to go. And once the motor's like perfectly in position, we should go pretty quick as far as figuring out those little 2x2 stanchions. Pretty excited. And once that's secure, everything else is just measure cut, measure cut, measure cut, you know? So this kind of establishes everything. Oh, it's coming back together, slowly but surely. Oh, Jacob boys, yes. All right, so I was kind of a dum-dum yesterday and squished the bushings into one of these motor mounts before it was painted. I'm like, what am I doing? So took it apart, got them all painted. So now they're painted, ready to go. I'm gonna squeeze the bushings in. Then we can position that motor exactly where we want it and get everything else finalized. It's gonna be good. All right, got the motor all positioned. Got the motor mounts in on the block side. That will go up like that. So basically I just need to get my angle finder in there, get a length, figure out the angle is. It's gonna be a square cut on this motor side, and just cut that little piece of square tube. That's pretty easy. And I got room for a gusset below. Well, ran out of gas on the welder, so that's awesome. Switch over to flux core, and I got her tacked in there. I like it. Looks good. So Should be able to unbolt that, the frame side mount, and weld it fully, and we'll get a gusset on the bottom side. I'm gonna get this side tacked in there, cut and tacked in. We are well on our way. This is awesome. All right, got that side in. I'm gonna try to unbolt them from the frame, get them all welded up, put a gusset on. Yeah. All right, got them pulled out. It don't look 100% the same, but it's all good. I'm not too worried about it. Had some leftover plate from cutting these guys, so I'm just gonna rip it right there at that angle. That'll be my gusset. I'll shoot some paint on them, and yeah, the motor will be mounted. Yeah, dude. Got it on in the paint booth here. Prime them. I gotta go start dinner. Doing some ribs tonight. But pro tip: when you paint metal that you just welded, dries really fast. All right, Traeger started. Sweet. Yes. Shrink this down now. A little easier on myself. All right, well, the Big Chief has a small block Chevy now, and I don't have to pull it out. It is done, which is awesome. That was a fun little project. Next up, next big item, we got to build that cross member for the doubler and the transmission, and it's gonna be involved. You got to clear a drive line. It's got to mount in 4 locations, so it's nice and sturdy to hold that big old massive transfer case. But just got a package from Barnes Off-Road. That's going to help out. Some bushings, bushing sleeves. Got some tabs on the way, so that's going to be good. Get that cross member built, and then it's punch list time. There's a lot left to do, but everything after that, just little things. Just about 1 million of them. So anyway, hope you like the Big Chief so far. I am so excited to wheel this thing. It's gonna be absolutely rad. Having the doubler, having solid transmission, having a solid small block Chevy that I know everything about it, having the cage. Oh man, it's gonna be rad. So thank you so much for watching. Till next time, wheel it, wreck it, wrench it, repeat. See ya.